What's going on, boys and girls? This is BBD with BBD TV, the biggest Tennessee Volunteers fan on YouTube. And you're watching the two Irish brothers. Shout out to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Go Vols!
How's it going, everyone? I am Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters. Welcome in.
This is the Two Irish Brothers Show, a very special edition of the Two Irish Brothers Show because the playoff bracket is officially set. But before we get to that part of the video, you guys know the drill. Like you heard me say in the short that I made this morning promoting tonight's video, hit that subscribe tab in the bottom right-hand corner, like or dislike the video for algorithm purposes, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when a video like this pops up on your feed. That way you're never missing out. So do it. Do it right now. You do it. 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 Okay, you get the point. But like I said, Ben, as we all know, the first ever 12-team college football playoff bracket became official yesterday. I don't even know where to start with this, man. But we'll start with the obvious because we're Notre Dame fans. This is a Notre Dame channel. Now, obviously, as we both know, the championship games over the weekend caused a little chaos. Nothing could be final until those games became complete. But we get number 10, Indiana, in the first round, and we, of course, got the 7th seed. Now, first off, I wanted to ask you your thoughts. What do you feel about getting the 7th seed? Because there's a lot of people that feel we deserve that fifth or 6th seed at best.
I mean,
you know,
I wanted it more just the fact that we get to host the game. Like, I don't care what seed we are, but let's just be able to host it.
That's definitely a good way
to go from there. Sure. You know, but no, man, like I'm not mad about it. Like, just make it in. I don't care if we're the 12 seed or if we're the number 1 seed. Just make it in because then anything can happen. So yeah, I'm excited. Like, I am legit excited about all this.
Same here, man. We've got some pretty good matchups in this first round in particular. But playing the Hoosiers, man. I can't remember the last time we played Indiana. I'm pretty sure it was like the early 90s.
It's been a long time. It's been an absolutely long time, and I don't see a better way to start off the playoffs for Notre Dame than with Indiana.
The battle for the state of Indiana. I mean, I didn't know anybody wanted the state of Indiana, but okay.
Yeah. So
this is a very intriguing matchup for us. Now, of course, I have my personal thoughts, and I don't want to be too mean to the Hoosiers.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, it's just I have nothing personal against them.
We're gonna kill them. Like, is that what you're? Because I mean, that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna kill them.
Yeah, I might as well just say it.
Like,
I like it. All I'm saying is I love our chances in this game.
Here's the thing. Indiana played one top 25 team this season. One. And it was Ohio State. And we all know what happened there. Okay, Notre Dame played 4 top 25 teams and went 4-0. We actually, out of everybody in the field, have the best record against the top 25.
Yeah.
And so I can bring up Northern, but guess what? Don't matter. It don't matter because
that's what I'm talking about.
After Northern, our average margin of victory was 30+ points. So there you go. We're gonna kill Indiana. I'm sorry. Like, it's in South Bend. It's a long time coming. We're angry. It's another Big Ten team. We have a chip on our shoulder when it comes to playing Big Ten teams. Like, I'm excited. Like, I am legitimately excited, and it's it's one of those that you just win the game, man. Like, I mean, I know I said we're going to kill them, but this is a situation now where you're in playoffs. There are no style points that you need to worry about. There's nobody you're needing to impress here.
No, you just go out there and win the game.
You go out and win the damn game. Like, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to freaking do.
Yep, it's a whole new season now.
Right.
Don't get the wrong idea, people. This is not an Indiana preview.
We'll have an actual preview for you where we break everything down.
But I will say one thing real quick. The only thing that I have against the University of Indiana is on their campus, they have a statue of a certain somebody who is a complete pervert. But I'm not going to go there because we're not about politics or social issues on here. But I just want to put that in there.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Do you want me to just say it?
Who's the statue of?
Alfred Kinsey.
See, I don't even think I know who is that.
Let's just say he did a lot of perverted sexual experiments involving children.
Gotcha.
Go watch the movie What is a Woman? And that's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, aside from
doing quick research, okay, I see what. Gotcha. Okay, that's an interesting way to go.
Yeah. So I just want to throw that in there. If there's anything personal I have against the University of Indiana, that's it. But this is a football channel.
Yeah, it's been a long time though, and it has. It's been a long time. Like if you go and look up this matchup, and you look for pictures, it's been a long time since these two schools played each other.
I think it was the last time was
with our buddy Irv Smith.
Yes, you beat me to the punch. When our buddy Irv Smith was carrying that defender into the end zone like a freaking cab driver carrying a passenger.
Yep. Like so. Yeah, it's interesting, and I have nothing against Indiana. I really don't. Like, it was awesome seeing them go 11-1. I love seeing teams that don't normally do anything do something. Like, it's awesome. And their coach, he has done an absolute phenomenal job with Indiana. I mean, very little NIL. You've been a doormat of the Big Ten for the longest time. Like, he gets all the props in the world. But the fact that you're going to whine about the fact that you didn't get to host this game is ridiculous. Like, is absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah.
Well,
and we'll get to this other part in a second because another Big Ten team had some stuff to say about Notre Dame. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Penn State, Franklin.
But
oh yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, like this, it is an intriguing matchup because football is also a game of passion, and Indiana's gonna be fired up for this one. Like, this is, win or go home. So we gotta be ready. Like, we gotta, I hope and think we're going to kill them, but you can't take Indiana lightly. Like, you can't take the Hoosiers lightly.
Well, ironically, like what was said in the movie Hoosiers, Gene Hackman's character Norman Dell says to his team, when you get to tournament play, you don't think about the next step until you've crossed the one in front of you.
Right.
Or however he worded it. I might have messed that line up, but that's exactly true. You focus on the task at hand. You don't look past it, because if you look past an opponent, you're as good as beaten.
Yeah.
But let's talk about we can get to Penn State in a second, but I got to throw this in there before we forget about it. How about Alabama getting left out?
The first one out. The first one. But see, here's the thing, okay? Like, here's the thing with Alabama. And, okay, you're 9-3. And people are like, well, like, they played in the SEC, and look who they beat. And, okay, but look who and how they lost. Yes, they lost to Oklahoma. And, yes, we lost to Northern Illinois. But we lost by what? 2 points?
2.
Okay, Alabama lost by, what was it, 3 or 4 touchdowns?
24-3.
I mean, like, that's a way different situation. I don't care if you're home, away, on the moon. Like, you can't lose like that. Like,
And then they lost to Vanderbilt.
And it's like, you just can't. You can't. And then you weren't even in your conference championship. Like, if you're going to be in a conference. And I know everybody has an obsession about Notre Dame and us not being in a conference.
Oh, conference. Everybody is so obsessed with damn conferences. Shove the conference straight up your ass. That's what I say.
But
I'm sick and tired of hearing it.
But, like, you could make, in my opinion, you could make a better case for Miami, for Syracuse, for
South
Carolina, Colorado. Like, you could make way better arguments for them than Alabama. So that's how I feel about that. And I feel like that's one of the things that they got right with this tournament. So yeah, I feel like Miami not getting in was rough, but they also didn't play in the ACC, which is crazy to think about for a second. Like, it is crazy to think that Miami didn't play in the conference championship, but for whatever reason, the Hurricanes just cannot seem to get into that championship.
Well, honestly, they should have lost 4 times this year anyway.
So, I mean, it is, and I'm not going to take anything away from them because they were a good football team this year. Cam Ward was an absolutely phenomenal quarterback. He's a Heisman finalist. Like, I'm not going to take anything away from them. But yeah, I'm happy that Alabama's not in it because they truly didn't deserve to be there.
And of course, you had Saban and Joey Galloway crying on the selection show about it.
And Saban, look at what Saban did with Alabama. I get it. Be a homer. There are certain guys in the media that don't back their team, and it really bothers me. So I'm not going to fault you for being like that. But
the thing is, if you want to be in, don't lose.
Right.
Don't lose 3 times.
Right.
Don't not play in your conference championship game if you're in a conference.
Well, if you're going to win games, win them by a large margin too, because we won our games by large margins. Like, Northern Illinois was the only one.
So, and people can keep bringing that up to us all they want, but like I said, why does Alabama get a pass on losing to Vanderbilt?
Right.
But everybody wants to focus on us losing to Northern.
Because Vanderbilt's an SEC team, Sean. Come on. Just means more.
Oh, yeah, true. Very true. But all I know is I'll tell you one thing. Alabama would be in right now this is just my opinion. Had SMU not made a comeback in that fourth quarter to tie the game and forcing Clemson to kick a 56-yarder to beat them.
Yeah.
And if they'd stayed blown out, then Alabama would be in right now.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
So. I agree. And anybody can make a run. I mean, like that's the thing. Like Alabama could have gotten in and maybe they go all the way. Maybe they go to the national championship. I don't know. Like maybe Arizona State makes a run and goes all the way to the national. I don't know. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, but let's talk about the other matchups though.
Yes.
Let's
everybody knows who we're picking in Notre Dame, Indiana.
Right.
Everybody knows that. But the other 3 matchups, I agree with you, Ben. And these are some interesting matchups.
Yeah.
So let's just start at the top. We have Texas and Clemson.
Yep.
In Austin.
Yes.
So myself, I'm taking Texas in that one.
Mm-hmm. Texas by a landslide. Texas is going to absolutely kill Clemson. Clemson's down. I don't know what's going on in Clemson, South Carolina. I don't know what's going on with Dabo, but Texas is going to be mad. They lost a really close one that they should have had against Georgia in the SEC championship.
And lost them for the second time.
They should be in a bye right now. They're going to be really angry. It's at Longhorn Stadium, in Austin. Clemson don't stand a chance. Like, Clemson's going to get absolutely boat raced. This is not SMU you're playing. This is, Texas, which is arguably one of the best teams in the country right now.
Yeah. And so the next one, we have Penn State hosting SMU.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I want to say Penn State, but I will say this. SMU, you thought they were down, but they came back against Clemson.
Right.
And like I just said moments ago, it took Clemson everything they had to beat SMU.
Yeah.
And SMU, you got to give them credit. This is their first year in one of the Power Four conferences, and they come that close to winning it.
Yeah.
So you got to tip your hats to them.
Mm-hmm.
But Beaver Stadium, Happy Valley.
That's the big thing. It's in Happy Valley, like at Beaver Stadium, man. Like, it's going to be cold.
Be a whiteout.
Be loud. This is going to be the biggest stadium you've ever experienced. Like, you think A&M Stadium's big, you think Texas Stadium's big. Like, I have been in Penn State Stadium. I toured it. Like, wasn't there for a game, but we were swinging by during an East Coast road trip I was on years ago, and I got to tour it. It is insane how big that stadium is. Like, and it's outdoors. This is not like AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Like, it's outdoors, for crying out loud. It's insane. That's the big difference maker. I hope SMU wins. I want to see SMU beat Penn State.
Oh, of course.
Because of what Franklin said about Notre Dame. But
and we got to talk about that after we're done here.
I think Penn State's going to kill SMU. Like, I just don't think it's close. I don't. I think it's a multitude of things. It's Penn State's played way stronger opponents in Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana and Michigan and whoever, all these different teams that they've played. SMU just hasn't played the same caliber. They just haven't.
No.
And it's going to be basically in Philadelphia. I mean, you're basically going to Philadelphia. Like, that's, it's a hop, skip, and jump for Philadelphia. It's going to be cold as shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
Welcome to that world. Yeah, it gets cold from time to time in Texas, but cold in Texas is like 30 degrees. On a bad day, it's 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, if you're lucky, like -5. So good luck. Good luck.
And speaking of that environment, another one, which is the last first round game, you got Tennessee Volunteers. Just by mentioning that, I gotta say, rest in peace to our friend Big Ball Daddy. Mm-hmm. I know he would love to be watching this game, but I know he's watching from upstairs. They're traveling north to play the Buckeyes at the Horseshoe.
Yeah, and so this is a toss-up, in my opinion. This is a toss-up because I feel like out of all the opening round matchups, this is like the most even between two teams.
See, because Tennessee, they're used to playing in the loud environment. I mean, I've been to Neyland Stadium, not inside, but I've seen it.
Neyland's loud.
Yes, it's loud. Notre Dame's played there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing. I've said this many times before, but when I visited Neyland, man, is that a trek to get up to that stadium?
Yeah.
Because it's built on
a hill,
like a hill. It is just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sweating my ass off.
Yeah. It's a toss-up with this one for me. It depends on what Ohio State team shows up. I feel like if it's the Ohio State team that played Indiana and Penn State, good luck with Tennessee. If it's the Ohio State team that played Michigan,
the doors are open. The doors are open for
Tennessee's game. So it depends on who shows up in that game for Ohio State. I think. Personally, I think that Ohio State edges Tennessee in a close one. Just, fact that it's home and, you're angry about the Michigan game. You ended your season on a very sour note. 4 years in a row. There was the whole fight at the end of the game, with the flag planting and stuff. Like, I feel like that's really going to fire up the Buckeyes. That they are one of those teams in years past that when they come off of a disastrous loss, the next game tends to be a really bad game for whoever they're playing. In a bad way for them, not in a good way for Ohio State. I mean, like, look what they did to Clemson in the playoffs a few years ago. I mean, no one thought they had a chance against Clemson, and they put up 45 points on Clemson and beat them by 3 scores, whatever it was. Like, it was nuts. So
I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I hope Tennessee wins, not just because it's the Buckeyes, but just paying homage
Big
to
Ball Daddy.
Big Ball Daddy.
For Big Ball Daddy.
I want to see 10
I mean, it would be
I want to see the Balls win it for BBD.
That one's a close one. That one's a toss up. You know, I feel like that could be a 1-score game. You know, whoever makes a field goal or 1 interception, whatever, wins the game.
Yeah. It's going to come down to one big
That's my most intriguing matchup. Like, that's the one I'm most intrigued about to see what really happens.
Yes.
Out of all the opening rounds.
Yeah, I think
would love to see all of them go. I mean, aside from Notre Dame, like, let me just say that I would love to see all of them go into like overtime and have a thrilling game, and, you know, or even like a shootout, you know, 55-50 or whatever, except for Notre Dame. Like, let's just kill them and be done.
I think the Tennessee-Ohio State matchup is going to really tell a lot with that side of the bracket.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's going to have one of the biggest.
Well, and that also could be one where it sets the tone for either squad for the rest of the bracket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you win this game, you got your feet wet, you got your confidence going, you're good, you know, and then it's okay. Let's make a run, you know. So I feel like that one out of all the matchups, that one could be a really, really like vaulting point for either of those squads.
Yeah.
So
I think we've covered everything we have to for now. Get really exciting. Playoffs are here, and let's kick some ass and go Irish. That's all I can say. So on that note, I am Sean Moriarty.
I'm Benjamin Walters.
This has been the Two Irish Brothers Show, and as we always say, good night, God bless, and I'll say it again, baby, go Irish.
Go Irish. Beat the Hoosiers.